What's up, Fig Fam? So today I was working on my WCW shelves. As you can see, this shelf's not as full, and that's because I plan on finishing out the line. I'm also working on my BCAs right now, trying to finish them out. But right now, working on these WCWs. I want to get the other motorcycles, and I've also been working on my TNA shelf over there, as you can see. They're not full because I plan on filling them up. Now, if you'll notice, next to the Scott Hall and next to the DDP, I left a little space because I know for a fact that I have the variants to those. So, without further ado, TBT unboxing, baby. Let's get them. So, where are they? There they are. So, we're going to take these off. There's the DDP. Gonna open that bad boy up. And there is the variant Scott Hall. Now, one thing about this Scott Hall, you'll see I have the other Scott Hall over here with the two sweet hands. Little different. Alright, so let's unbox these. Alright, so here we are with the Smash and Slam Wrestlers WCW action figures by ToyBiz. These are the Scott Hall and Diamond Dallas Page variants. Now, one thing before I even open these, I just want to talk about the packaging on these things. These things were state-of-the-art packaging back then. If you really look at it, it's not just a blister card, it's a blister card slash box all in one, which is really cool. Now, the one thing I liked about these packages was that inside they have little placards of the ring ropes and ring posts and turnbuckles, and it just added such a nice touch to the action figures. The one complaint that I had was the colors that they used for the turnbuckles and ropes. They didn't use red ropes. They didn't use blue turnbuckles. It's kind of funny, considering the competition back then, that these were almost, the colors were that of the WWF at the time. They used red ropes. For a long time, blue was their turnbuckles, even though it wasn't in '99. But yeah, so what we have here, we have Scott Hall with the breakaway table, Outsider's Edge action. And we have Diamond Dallas Page with breakaway crowd control gate, Diamond Slam action. I don't know why they didn't write Diamond Cutter, but whatever. So yeah, let's turn these over. On the back, it had the lineup of the whole set. Some of these are actually different than what was actually released in terms of color and deco. It has how to do the action for the figure and has a little bio on it. So for Scott Hall, it says height 6'7", 287 pounds. Signature move was the Outsider's Edge. Scott Hall is one of the most notorious wrestlers in the game. Hall began his career with a takeover of the WCW Monday Nitro, and then reversed course and masterminded the creation of the NWO along with fellow outsider Kevin Nash and Hollywood Hulk Hogan. With his distinctive, menacing look and confident, brash style, Hall is truly one of a kind. Get in his way, and he'll prove it to you by demolishing you with his signature move, the Outsider's Edge. And up at the top, it has a facsimile of his autograph. Over here, we got Diamond Dallas Page. It says height 6'5", weighs 253 pounds. His signature move's the Diamond Cutter. Diamond Dallas Page has risen through the ranks of WCW by utilizing his awe-inspiring Diamond Cutter finishing move. This 6'5", 253-pound color commentator turned manager turned wrestler cuts through opponents with one after another with unwavering confidence. From the Jersey Shores to superstardom, DDP's outrageous popularity keeps him in the forefront, leading WCW against Hollywood Hogan and the unruly forces of Nwo White. Now, what's really cool about this is they give like almost like a storyline for you to use with the action figures. So yeah, let's get right into it. We're going to start with Diamond Dallas Page. We'll open him up. Now, he comes with the breakaway gate. If you've been following my unboxings, you saw my R-Truth that came with this exact same gate, except for the fact that they molded out the NWO logo. Because, as some of you may or may not know, Marvel Toys was once ToyBiz. So there's the gate. This does not stay together very well. The Marvel one that came with R-Truth was very sturdy. This, I don't even know if it'll stand up, see? But without further ado, there we go. We got Diamond Dallas Page. And when you push his legs together, he breaks the diamond. Bang! Now, this variant is kind of boring. It's just like the one that was released, except it's just in black. They couldn't even give him different color boots, black elbow pads, black wrist tape, black on black on black on black, but he does have his chain. And we'll get into Scott Hall, and then we'll review him. Now, Scott Hall comes with an NWO breakaway table. Obviously, they could not re-release this with TNA because it's ingrained in it, NWO, which is fine. These tables were kind of lame, if you ask me. It was very cartoonish. So when you squeeze his legs together, if you put someone in his hands, you could turn his hands out, put someone up there, and outsider's edge. I like that these figures were very much playable to do the superstars or the wrestlers' finishing move, which is really cool. He also came with a Sting mask, which you can put over his face, and he becomes Sting. Now, I display my white Scott Hall with this mask. I might display this one too, just because I think it's really cool. Cool accessory. All right, so now we're going to compare the original release of the Diamond Dallas Page to the variant. Now, as you can see, they both had the same action, same body mold. There's really nothing different with the body mold. The one thing that I notice that I'm thinking about now is that the original came with a painted-on t-shirt, and I'm wondering if they did that on purpose, knowing that they were going to release the shirtless version. Because, as you can see, the original, it's the same exact body with the rips and serrated muscles. They were obviously planning variants on the first series. The other thing that I notice is that there's a molded on chain on the shirtless one. It's molded on this one, but it's not really colored in. So if you'll look, it's not really colored in. Other than that, it's basically the same figure. They didn't color in the belt on this one. The other difference is the hair. All right, there's a little more detail in the original, but it's, like I said, it's kind of cartoonish. This is probably a little more realistic. The tattoos are about the same. The facial hair. I think I might be leaning towards the variant for better detail on the face, though. What do you guys think? Comment below and let me know. All right. So, There goes the Diamond Dallas Page variant and original from the Smash and Slam wrestlers. Now we're going to do the Scott Hall. All right, so there we have the 3 versions of the Scott Hall action figure released in the WCW ToyBiz line. First up, we have the original, which is the white NWO Scott Hall. Also came with the same table, also came with a Sting mask. Next, we have the red variant that we just opened, Scott Hall, that came in the Smash and Slam wrestlers, came with the mask, came with the table. The third one I have over here is a red NWO Scott Hall with the 2 sweet hands that came with the, I believe it's Thunder Slam 2-pack with Kevin Nash. I already know which one's my favorite, but let's get into it and review them. First up, we have the original Scott Hall. Now, you bring his hands up. Very playable, does the razor's edge or outsider's edge. Always loved this figure. Now, it's got the dripping NWO white blood on his knee pads, on his trunks, on his shoulders, on his back. It's got Hall emblazoned in the front in white. He's got the chest hair. He's got the facial hair. And he's got the cool signature hair hanging down. It's a little bit longer than it needs to be. It's almost like it's a like he's in the Misfits. But I'm not going to complain about that. Next up, we have the NWO Red that we just opened up. Same thing. The dripping blood on the knee pads, on the trunks with Hall, on the shoulders, and on the elbow pads. Very, very cool. Same thing, got the chest hair, a little bit more detailed facial hair on the variant. What I'm noticing with both this and Diamond Dallas Page is that they put a little bit more time into the facial hair and the facial expressions in deco. So let's stand him back up. One thing I noticed with Hall is that his figures don't really stand very well. And last, my favorite is the NWO Red Scott Hall with the 2 Suite. Like, this was ahead of its time. To articulate hands for something like this, and it's perfectly executed. Look at how sweet that 2 Sweet Me is. It looks legit. It looks perfect with the figure. You can put his arms out to the side like he used to. The only problem is that they didn't make other figures to do this. They didn't make the Kevin Nash with the 2 Sweet Me. How cool would that have been to display a Kevin Nash and a Scott Hall next to each other, 2 sweeting each other? My one complaint with this is I wish that it had the red boots that the variant comes with, and I wish that it was the same shade of red, but I guess, you know, got to make things a little bit different. So, there you have it. There's the 3 Scott Halls from the WCW NWO ToyBiz line. I'm going to have to say my favorite is the ThunderSlam 2-pack. I do wish that he came with a brighter red, but beggars can't be choosers. So there you have it, today's TBT, Throwback Toys unboxing of the variant Smash and Slam Wrestlers WCW ToyBiz Scott Hall and Diamond Dallas Page. And in the back you can see the variants that were released before. I didn't even realize this when I was filming it, but I forgot that Diamond Dallas Page originally was Scott Hall's manager when he was a Diamond Stud. So it's only fitting that I unbox these together, and it was not intentional at all. So, if you like this video, please push the like button, comment, subscribe to the channel. I will be uploading more vintage, retro, throwback toys unboxings in the future. I have a lot down there that I have to unbox, and I want you guys to come along for the ride and enjoy it with me. All right, so like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Unreleased Wrestling Figures Volume 1 coloring book. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at FigHeal and at Unreleased Wrestling Figs. Take it easy, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram at FigHeal or at Unreleased Wrestling Figs. And also check out Amazon.com for my new book, The Unreleased Wrestling Figures Coloring Book Volume 1, for $9.99, including Prime shipping.